On the lovely streets of Iceland, a youthful American couple is showing up to spend a brilliant getaway together. Riley has carried an old camera to take pictures. Also, his better half Jenai happily models for them. In the wake of subsiding into their lodging, they go on a visit around Iceland, which takes them through dynamic fountains and natural aquifers. Later over supper, Jenai contemplates whether they'll have the option to track down film for such an old camera, yet Riley guarantees her that he sufficiently cut and turns down her proposal to get him an advanced one. He explains that he prefers to capture the moment in all its imperfection rather than having a computer automatically correct everything. A short time later, they keep on visiting all the significant touristic places, as a noteworthy church and a few wonderful cascades. They go back to the hotel in the evening to sleep, but Jenai wakes up in the middle of the night and looks out the window to see a bright light suddenly cover the sky for a few seconds before disappearing. The following morning, when the couple goes downstairs to eat breakfast, they discover that the buffet is empty and there are no employees present. They choose to eat at a bistro, all things considered, yet when they head outside, they find the roads unfilled and quiet as well. They start trying to get into various buildings without success after checking the time to make sure it isn't too early and considering whether or not it is a holiday. Maybe everyone in the city has vanished aside from them. They continue to wander and search, panting, until they give up and accept the truth, they're on their own. They attempt to call family members on their telephones, however no one responds, and when Riley checks the TV, he finds that all the news channels are down. Online entertainment likewise is quiet. Also, the couple chooses to get back to the inn. Riley utilizes his PC and affirms the web is working, yet news destinations haven't been refreshed since the previous evening. Frantic for a clarification, Riley really takes a look at surveillance cameras across the world, yet to their shock the roads are void in a real sense all over. Somewhere down trying to claim ignorance, Riley says there must be another person out there. So they head out to look for individuals once more, however the outcome is something very similar. Getting unsettled. Furthermore, frantic for an answer, Riley sees a vehicle with an open window and they use it to look through the city all the more completely, yet as yet tracking down no one. They eventually drive all the way to the countryside without encountering anyone. Jenai contemplates whether the end of the world has at long last come. Furthermore, upon Riley's nudging, she takes a stab at reaching her mom again without much of any result. At the point when they at last give up, they attempt to find solace in the reality they least they have one another. At the point when dusks, they return to the inn, and Jenai is so worn out and agitated that she gets surly when she needs to inquire Riley 2 times to close the blinds. The following morning, Riley wakes up first and tries to wake Jenai as well, but Jenai is still in a bad mood and won't get out of bed. Jenai asks Riley later how they will get home, but Riley has no idea and leaves her alone for a while. Riley tries to make Jenai's favorite gingerbread latte because she still misses her home country. Jenai appreciates the effort, despite the fact that it is not very good. Subsequently, they choose to steal from the close-by basic food item store. Jenai just has a couple of things in her grasp without really thinking, however Riley has entered endurance mode and strolls by pushing streetcars loaded with food. Then, at that point, Riley goes searching for another vehicle with more space to convey all the stuff they need, since no one can stop them now. At the point when they return to the inn, Riley gets their packs and reports it is the ideal opportunity for an update, so the couple goes searching for a pleasant house to remain in. When they find one the two of them endorse, Riley rapidly settles in. However, Jenai can't resist the urge to contemplate whether it really is this basic. Next, they go to a dress store. Jenai reverts to only grabbing a few items, but Riley soon reminds her of the situation. Together, they experiment with a variety of outfits without being constrained, which brings a little fun back into their lives. They also consume alcohol while playing Monopoly and engaging in playful banter. The next daytime during breakfast, Jenai contemplates whether they are being tried. What's more, consequently Riley inquires as to whether she has faith in God and on the off chance that everything occurs as per his arrangement. However, Jenai responds that faith and belief are distinct concepts. Attempting to comfort her, Riley tells her that anything is possible for as of now they're to do anything they desire. A short time later they drive to the open country, and Jenai is loose to such an extent that she puts her feet on the window and lets the wind remove her shoes. They eventually reach the geothermal pools, where Riley spreads a blanket out on the grass so they can snuggle together. Jenai stands and starts taking off her clothes as she walks to the pool when Riley decides to sleep. Jenai finally removes her last accessory and jumps into the water, and Riley notices this and follows her as he takes pictures. Riley makes sure to her model, and soon the couple is getting playful in the pool. Jenai wakes up first and decides to go for a walk through the beautiful fields after the couple takes a nap together. He keeps taking pictures of her looking gorgeous among the flowers until Riley wakes up as well. At night, they return to the city. What's more, in the supermarket, Riley is wasting time like a kid, which makes him fall and get his arm hurt. They agree to have a romantic dinner that evening, and they even put on nice clothes for the occasion. Anyway, Jenai can't quit contemplating what occurred in the store and gets down on Riley for his way of behaving, calling attention to they should be cautious since, supposing that something occurs, there are no specialists or firefighters that can help them. Anyway, Riley thinks she is overstating and simply cares about to continue to have a good time, which disturbs Jenai and makes her tempest off. Minutes after the fact, Riley strolls through the abandoned city with a bouquet in his grasp and comes to the house they guaranteed, finding Jenai resting, feeling terrible. Disliking seeing her like this, Riley guarantees he will be more cautious from this point forward. Then, at that point, Jenai gets up and discusses her #1 book, lamenting that she didn't bring it for her getaway. Riley recommends tracking down another duplicate around, yet Jenai just needs her own on the grounds that it was a gift from her dad and it filled in as her record of the multitude of significant things that occurred in her life. For instance, whenever she first conceded she cherished Riley, she composed it in that book. Riley tells her with a smile that they have everything they need, wonderful view and one another. The rest, they can simply fabricate it. Jenai doesn't like it and says she wants to go home, but they can't do anything about it. After one more outing and bunches of new pictures, several profits home, and Jenai finds the regular water isn't running any longer. Riley eats blueberry yogurt, and this triggers another contention since that is not the one that lapses. First, Jenai maintains that him should be more cautious with the food since they will not have limitless stock. Furthermore, Riley answers they can plant and chase, yet Jenai derides the thought. In a little while, Riley swims alone in the pool while Jenai strolls to a congregation where she tracks down a sculpture with odd imprints on it. Jenai can't resist the urge to converse with it, frantic for a sign that tells her the importance behind all this. During one more excursion outside the city, the couple shows up at a few natural aquifers. Riley inquires Jenai to pay attention to the heartbeat of the world and concedes he adores Iceland. A short time later, they come to a oceanside with volcanic rocks, and Riley attempts to share a legend about savages. However, Jenai ruins the occasion by calling attention to their out of drinking water. After that, they come to a plane fuselage that has been abandoned, and Riley takes a lot of pictures of it because he thinks it is beautiful. Anyway, this upsets Jenai and calls attention to simply dead trash outlasted its convenience. She likewise shouts that Riley can't simply change the landscape to supernaturally encourage her. An exasperated Riley asks what he ought to do, yet Jenai simply advises him to open his eyes and drives away, passing on Riley to rest inside the plane. That evening, Jenai rests in the vehicle in no place, and in the first part of the day she gets back to the plane to beware of Riley. At the point when he awakens, neither of them says a word. Jenai just offers something to drink before they return to the city together. Riley spends the remainder of the day exploring the city and taking photographs of every piece of public art and graffiti he encounters. A specific piece of craftsmanship with tormenting eyes scares the hell out of him, making him throw his film away. In the interim, Jenai passes the time looking at her PC, searching for notices and attempting to reach out to individuals, without much of any result. Later, Jenai chooses to go to chapel to supplicate while Riley visits different stores to begin gathering pieces for an undertaking he has as a primary concern. He takes the elevator and is startled when the doors suddenly close behind him and he thinks he's locked inside for a second. Luckily, the entryways before long return all alone and Riley can return home. He doesn't see Jenai around when he shows up, so keeps himself in the middle of building contraptions. Since it's the only new life she's seen in a while, Jenai is feeding a horse and enjoying the company of the animals. In a little while, once more, the couple is voyaging, and Jenai drives while paying attention to old messages in her voice message to recall what her loved ones seemed like. Subsequent to passing approach a few icy masses, they escape the vehicle and investigate around. Then they sit together on an icy mass and Jenai discusses the power of nature that cleans the earth off, saying that perhaps God got eager. Anyway, Riley thinks what's in store is questionable and he won't abandon their relationship. Jenai finds a location to develop the photographs after the couple returns to the city. She likewise sees as a blossom shop, however her fervor rapidly vanishes when she understands every one of the blossoms are dead. Because they need a change of scenery, Riley persuades her to look for flowers somewhere else. Ultimately they show up at a lakeside lodge, which has a chimney that they much out of the situation. There is nothing Riley can do, so he takes Jenai out of the pool. Then, at that point, he attempts to follow her model, however his senses to get by are serious areas of strength for excessively. Riley weeps as he clings to Jenai's body after the event. Whenever he's quieted down, he chooses to leave, abandoning Jenai. Inquiring as to what will happen to Riley now that he is truly alone, he climbs back into his car and begins to drive away. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime a new video is uploaded. Comment on the film, share, and like. Thanks.